The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. My name is Stacy. This is always it's amazing Kirby on the Kirby and Stace podcast. We've got a bunch of things to talk about. It's been a couple of weeks since we last caught up, brother. We've got a few topics to talk about. The State of Origin that just happened just yesterday, actually, or this week. Ratchet result, by the way. Bit of life updates, and even somebody had a birthday this week as well. So big celebration. So let's get into it. Come on. Hey guys, welcome back again. As I mentioned before, I am Stacy. This is the amazing Kirby, back at it again in the Owen Collective Studios, as we always are. We've got a few things to talk about this week, my bro. As I said before, we've got the State of Origin, we've got a bit of life updates, and someone's birthday has happened this week. Bit of a special momentum occasion. We talked about, it'd be interesting to hear your opinion about celebrating birthdays, you know, like I always took the other day about how do some people celebrate them and some people don't, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, first off the rank, bro, quick little talk about the State of Origin. So let's just get the record straight that who we both support.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying.
Curbs was dark, bro. Curbs was dark because he didn't. The Blues. We're both Blues supporters. Fuck. It was a tough night, bro. Did they play? Fuck, bro. Like Tedesco, where was it? Like bro. You know what I mean? Like some of these key players, they were Tommy Turbo. Where was he?
The thing that like hurt me about Tedesco was he hasn't been playing the best the whole season. And I thought the Origin was where he was going to be like, nah, wait till Origin. You know, like how Gagai is. Like all those kind of players freaking have a mud-ass season. And then it comes to Origin and these guys are like freaking competing for man of the match, like the whole series.
Bro, and just some dudes just didn't show up. But one of the dudes I was sort of impressed with, and everybody was sort of saying he shouldn't have got the start for Queensland, and that's Walsh. People were saying that
he was good,
Ponga should have got the start, but Walsh, he did step up, right? I mean, he didn't take any back, he didn't take any shit under the high ball. He's pretty. He's got hops.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying yesterday. I was like, fuck, this guy's getting up every time, like, getting over every time as well, like over Crichton, bro, who's freaking like 6 whatever.
Yeah.
And freaking this dude's like jumping higher than him. So.
But fucking how did the Blues fucking not score when Queensland had someone like one of their guys in the bin,
bro? I honestly knew that was going to happen, bro. Like every time something like that happens, bro, it's like they just like get too overwhelmed, or it's like they start thinking ahead of themselves instead of just like freaking doing the yards, and then we get down to our green zone and then like score tries. Fuck, we're so worried about like scoring or like saying chucking an offload in our half. Like it always happens, bro. Queensland will do something shit, bro, and then we'll be like, yeah, fuck, we're in there, you know? And then Queensland get an intercept or something, or fucking Munster ends up doing something exactly like yesterday, bro. Munster's doing nothing the whole game, and we were saying it the whole time, like, fuck, this guy's been quiet, like. And then, fuck, what do you know? Just palms off Nico Hines, debut. Oh, fuck.
How do you reckon his debut went, bro? Did you reckon he got much of it? Because he only came on with like, 10 minutes to go?
Yeah.
He didn't really get much of an opportunity. People are saying he should go into at number 6. You know, like, they should give him a chance. How do you reckon he went, if you could judge? Do you reckon... Because he fell off that tackle.
Yeah, it was
because he would have been nervous as fuck.
It was a tough debut for him. Like even his first hit up that he got, and fucking 6 Queensland dudes just rush him. Like, oh bro, welcome to Origin.
But it'd been hard though. Like you come in with 10 minutes to go, and you got to try and fucking turn the game around.
Yeah,
like on your debut, like.
And it was like it was still game on. It wasn't like, you know, Blues put them away, and now this guy jumps in to finish the game.
Yeah.
But fuck nah. Honestly, that's probably the most annoying thing about the Blues is like they just never put Queensland away, you know? I mean, besides their 50 in the house bounce game, that's the only time that it was like try after try after try, and then like you knew, later Queensland, you know? But other than that, bro, every time we're in the game, bro, it's like Queensland are still in the game. Like we've never just put them away, and like that before that sin bin even happened, like bro, there were so many opportunities to score, and we're doing like like safe things, you know. It's like, damn, like when are they gonna like Crichton, for example, does that like one stuff up in the start of the game, and in the whole game, this dude like doesn't want to chuck any like 50-50 balls, doesn't want to like risk anything. He's trying to like shut because he thinks he's like doing the right thing, and it ends up being the wrong thing.
Because we were saying that during the game, he was just playing way too safe.
Way too
like
safe.
He was like
bro,
nervous
like,
to do something, you know?
You know how Crichton plays. A guy that goes for an intercept when the other team's about to score a try, you know, like he pulls off like moments like that. And yesterday it was just tough to watch him like not do anything like that. It was just like,
yeah, Andrew Johns, the eighth immortal, he was fucking fuming, He was so pissed off. Did you see the end of the interviews afterwards?
what was he saying?
Bro, he was spraying them, but like, nah, they were just woeful. They were just, and he was saying like the top guys weren't pulling, you know, like weren't doing anything.
Tedesco, yeah.
Tommy Dvojevic, you know, like the guys that should really be stepping up. Like we said Tommy too, but we're like, fuck, you couldn't even see him during the game, right?
And he wasn't even, the only thing he was doing was hit-ups, bro.
Yeah.
And just normal hit-ups. Like hit-ups that anyone can do. Yeah. It wasn't like a hit-up that like ate heaps of meters. It wasn't like he like rushed behind like the hooker or anything. Like, fuck, it was just like, it was too, like when you look back at it and you look at how much like the striking rate, like Queensland won that game because they took every opportunity they had in their green zone. Like every time they got to the try line, try. You know, like, and in New South Wales, 80% of the game was played in our half, and we couldn't even score a try. And in what's his name, Tedesco, it was like he was just a second off, bro. Like everything was just not happening, bro. Like he's trying to go for the marker, and their first try when he just chips it through, and he's coming out of like marker, like what are you doing? There's already three guys, like already three guys at the ruck, and this guy's behind them. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, start scoping the line at that time, you know? Like, and in that one that he misses on Cobbo, when Cobbo literally just slides over and scores like this, like, bro, this dude, like, how does he the fullback, right? He's tackling where Luai like tackled is where Tedesco ended up. It's like, how are you tackling? Like, this guy's going this way and you're tackling this way. What are you up to, Tedesco, bro? Like, fuck, it should have been me.
Didn't you get
fucking, that's why I'm here and he's there.
Yeah,
fuck.
but props to Queensland though. They fucking like Billy Slater, like for a dude that's never really coached. Like his first coaching role was a fucking State of Origin team, right? Like,
yeah.
And he picks the players, you know. But it was fucking after. Did you hear his after the game speech about how he's saying the Queenslanders are tougher? You know, like you know we've gone through some droughts and you know we've gone through adversity and we've gone through floods. Motherfucker,
8 in a row.
Have you not been?
That's the worst flood ever. Fuck.
We've had
for us.
Yeah. New South Wales had the worst drought ever. But fuck yeah, that was a cracker one. But yeah, like props to him for like his player selections, like to pick Walsh over Ponga. You know, like just little
like
things
such
like that.
Such a crucial selection. But you know what I think Queensland is good at is they just have like a winning culture. No matter what team they pick, it's like that winning culture in them is like just contagious, you know? Like they're so used to winning that they don't care about losing 10 minutes left. These guys are still trying to pull bullshit out of their ass to fucking chuck a bomb right up and Collins gets it, you know? Like, but you see stuff like that. You see when New South Wales, like when New South Wales start leading, it's like they're still trying to hold the lead instead of just like, fuck, carry on, bro. Like, keep playing, keep like doing like how the Panthers play. It's like you want those Panthers players to do the same thing in Origin. Like, bro, when you guys play for Panthers, bro, these guys chip chase for themselves, you know. And in this game, they're like chipping the players that are like not even running onto the ball. It's like, oh man, it's so frustrating.
One try as well. I think Crichton came off as player. Like it looked like he didn't have trust in the inside, and which was Luau.
Yeah.
Fuck, like bro, like that's your fucking club teammate.
Panthers.
So you should have that trust, like he came in and then they created the overlap. And I was like, bro, anyway.
And then
But it's gonna be,
slips up.
but it's going to be a big game in fucking Brisbane, game 2. Chances.
What's this? The Blues are going to win, and then it's going to be like, oh, fuck, where was that in game 1, It always happens, bro. Like, Blues will win, they either win the first game or the second game, and it's like, yeah, bro, that's the Blues we know. And then their final game is like, where was the Blues that was playing 2 weeks ago? Fuck. Honestly, bro.
But you got to look at it though. For the game of the sport, for rugby league, it's a great spectacle to have. Like everyone says, to play State of Origin is the pinnacle of the
league,
sport.
yeah.
And if you look at that compared to Union, right? There's no real highlight match anymore. It used to be All Blacks versus Australia, but there's no real. If you were to watch a game, the product of rugby at the moment is really struggling. They've got to. I don't know what they've got to do in terms of get it to grow again, particularly in Australia. We're getting some okay crowds here in New Zealand, but I think globally, Aussie have got a chance. So to get the game back up and running in Aussie again, they've got the Rugby World Cup coming up, so they've got to get some hype around that.
Yeah.
And apparently they've got a Lions tour as well. So
is that where World Cup is?
No.
Oh.
It's in France.
Yeah.
But they've got to create hype around it, to get the fans back online. So in other words, but I think the team needs to perform well over there.
Yeah, well, that's it.
To get to viewers again, and then they need the rugby organisations need to really build a product around or build a brand around the product.
Yeah.
Create players, and that's what we love about NRL. You got heroes versus villains, kind of like in NRL, and you got some people that love their teams and just create look at the Warriors content. They create mad content.
Hey, shout outs.
We'll touch on that soon. But then there's Storm. They do mad content as well. Titans, they do mad content. It's just that it looks cool. You know what I mean? They take some real great pride. But admittedly, the things like the guys in the Blues, they do some cool content as well. They do some really switched on stuff. That's relevant stuff as well. But they just need to make it. But I think it's also the NZRU. They put a damper on things as well.
Yeah.
They just rinse it so bad that it just looks boring.
Yeah. It's hard as well because it's like Aussie Origin is an Aussie thing, whereas in rugby is it's a global thing, and trying to make everyone come to one stadium, that's impossible. The World Cup final is probably the biggest crowd you'll ever get because it's people going to watch their team, and then they missed out, so they're now they're in the final stadium, but. It's hard to try and build that kind of hype when it's so global. I
think what NRL are really great at as well. They like having what they call user-generated content. Look at Bloke in the Bar, right? He's got nothing to do with the NRL, or he may have association with them, but he creates cool. And there's another web podcast called Hello Sport. They create cool content as well. Then you've got the Levels boys, Scope and Mace as well. Yeah, they do some cool content, and shout out to Lukey as well. He's a massive instigator behind that. And they get it. They get their content, and the NRL loves it. For example, at the awards last year, the NRL awards, they had Johnny Tuivasa-Sheck.
They had all those guys doing it.
They get those guys to create the help, present, talk to the guys on the red carpet, because they know they've got a big following. NRL knows that they've got a big following, so they get. They're going to get interest that way. So it's content they don't have to create because these guys are going to create it. Whereas in rugby, bro, and I know firsthand, is the NZRU, they just squash everything. Yeah. If they don't make money from it, they don't want people creating the content, because they've got so many, they want to just control everything. And it's just sort of, I personally think it's to their detriment.
Yeah, no, that's true. You just hit it on the head. I was just about to go the NRL notices that, so they jump on the back of them come do some stuff with us, But whereas in rugby, it's just no one cares about, if someone's doing a podcast about rugby, NZRU is just we don't want to work with them, No one
but the thing is, as well, in NRL, the clubs want to work together in creating content. And I know that firsthand. the Warriors and like the Broncos, they want to do something, and the Warriors and the Dolphins are going to do something this weekend. You know, it's not like they're trampling on each other's feet. They're just like, how can we create something that's cool together for the audience? Everything they
for
do
NRL as well.
Yeah, and everything they do is for the audience. It's not just so much about themselves. They understand that to buy in to get a club member, because everything gets done they need memberships, right? So how do you get a membership as you bring along the fan along the journey?
Yeah.
And that's why they show all behind the scenes content about their training and media days. And so I was lucky enough to go and to create some content for the Warriors in the last week.
Shout outs, my man.
But yeah, just grateful for that, an opportunity. Shout outs Jackson for bringing me on board with helping with that.
Vintage Jack.
Bro, so so I was lucky enough to create the vlog, you know, like to film the first half of it and then edit the whole piece. And I saw like a lot of behind the scenes content. Like we had Izzy turning up at the training. That was mad. You know, getting to meet Izzy, going, you know, shaking his hand. Hey, bro, what's up? Kai Cutter France, he's a cool dude as well. And then just seeing all these things that happen in the background, meeting the coaches, the players, and giving that access to the audience, like seeing, imagine if no one filmed anything about Izzy coming into the Warriors, you know?
Yeah.
People love Izzy, and then all of a sudden they're like, fuck, he's with the Warriors now, you know, like that video just blew up.
And that was the most viewed video as well.
Yeah. And so, which has been cool, you know, like, so, and then people love them seeing training, and because what people love to do, and a lot of people are like me as well, I'm guessing they love like autobiographies. Like we can see what happens on the field, but the autobiography, I want to hear how they got, you know, what they do to go training, and you know, what do they eat, what fashion do they into, what music do they love, what do they do off the field, you know, like, so that we can become relatable, because social media has helped that as well. Because with social media, you could hit up your most favorite athlete and there's a chance that they can reply to you.
Yeah.
You know, like, so there's that mad connection. You don't have to go through the media or, you know, like try and email the manager or something like that.
Yeah, assistant.
The assistant or something like that, bro. You can just hit them up directly and they reply back to you, and it's like, fuck. Even if you made a comment on their post and they double tap it and just liked it,
yeah,
be like, yo, fucking, you just
you liked my shit.
Like my shit, bro. You're bragging about it for weeks. Yeah, we're tight. Sonny Bull just fucking, you know what I mean? Like
he retweeted my shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, all of a sudden you're like, bro, fucking
this is my cousin. It's my cousin now.
He's my cousin now. He's coming to the barbecue on the weekend, guys.
I told him just chill, but yeah, we're pretty much cousins now.
So yeah, bro. So like shit like that like that's crazy and it's cool at the same time. So you feel that connection there with the NRL, like that. That's what I love about it as well. Like they show a lot of behind the scenes content.
Yeah,
which is mad, you know. So, and then you know, like then you want to get a membership, you know, like. Then you want to get the jersey and you go to games because you feel like you feel like just from watching, you feel like you know the player.
Yeah, and you've been in that room with them. Like.
Yeah, but whereas rugby, like I know, like they make them like you can't, like the days of old. I mean, people can access guys like Artie and all that sort of stuff. He's great because he understands the whole content thing, and he gets people to do like boot camps with him. Imagine that. Like if you're an up-and-coming rugby player or if you want to train with your favourite All Black.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, that would be gangster, wouldn't it?
Imagine back in the day getting to train with Carlos Spencer.
Any of those dudes. Or Tana, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I love about that. So that's why I love that whole content thing as well, is that people love to see what they get up to, you know?
Yeah.
So having the privilege of creating the content for the Warriors and seeing the inside about how it works. Man, those dudes are awesome. Like the Warriors crew, the boys that I work with and the crew that I work with are all awesome, man. Like even the coach, Andrew Webb, like Webby's really, you can tell like he's sort of built this really cool family environment there. Like there's a big open plan office and everyone's chatting with each other. Webby was walking through and he comes over to me and goes, "Hey mate, I'm Andrew. How you going?" I said, "Hey bro, I'm Stacy." You know, like, yeah, how's it going? What are you up to? You know, and just chatting with him. Cameron George, the CEO, I'm just chatting. He's like comes and hangs out at their desk. "How are you? What are you up to? What are you doing? You know, like how's things going?" Like everyone, it just feels accessible. You know, no one's off limits. And what I've heard, like in one of the podcasts, I think with Josh Curran just recently, he was saying that the atmosphere is sort of different at the moment, whereas in previous years the players would just have their own pockets. Yeah, you know, you go to the airport and a couple of boys are sitting over there, a couple of boys sitting over there.
It's like the legends, the youngins.
Well, just like just have your cliques, you know. Yeah. Whereas he's saying now that all the boys are just mixing and mingling, you know, like they're just sort of you know, and it was cool, bro. Like on a weekly, they have a barbecue, the team barbecue, and it's not just the players; it's for the staff as well. The whole head office staff, they go down, have this barbecue. This dude, he just comes rolling in, bro. He's retired and he's the mad butcher's mate. He brings in the barbecue in this trailer, cooks up the barbecue for everybody. Everybody comes and hangs out, chats and catches up. And then, everyone cleans up, helps out clean up. The players are helping clean up, you know, like management staff, everyone's tidying up, and then everyone goes back to work. And so it just feels like there's a real good connection going on with the boys at the moment, or with the club.
Well, it's showing.
Yeah.
It's showing this year.
And it's on field as well, you know. Everyone's like years have gone by. Yeah, we might have lost that game against Bronx, but fuck, years gone by, we would have we would have given up, you know, with 20 minutes to go, and we would have got pumped. But fuck it, like when we were down by 12 or 16 points, I'm like, oh fuck, we're done here, because I'm just referred back to, you know, like days of old. We're like, we're going to get jacked here. But then all of a sudden, I'm like, fuck, bro, we just almost, you know, like we were, like I'm like fucking up and screaming at the TV, going, fuck, we almost come back. Like the Cronulla game, right? Like fucking, that was crazy. So yeah, there's something different about the team this year, and they're producing, you know, great on-field results. But it's also like the supporters are just super loyal as well. You know, not loyal, but some of them are super loyal, but they're backing them as well. Bro, there's a lot of fans.
Are you saying you're not loyal?
Bro, fuck off. Bro, not me. There's a lot of others, bro. I've been waiting for this year.
Starting to question your loyalty.
Fuck that, bro. I've been waiting for this year, G. Everyone's been paying. Fuck, what do you want to support those guys? Like, bro, you wait.
Weren't you saying fuck the Warriors just before this?
Fuck this. Drop you, bro. I'm gonna fucking drop you.
Shit.
Nah, but shout outs to the team at Warriors, man, for having me on board.
Shout outs.
It was mad, so that was crazy, man.
The one Warriors.
Bro, and the thing is, man, like, you're the same, bro. Like, I always say, like, what's helped, like I've been, we talked about in the last potty as well, I mean, sort of 6 months into this whole working for myself kind of vibe, and I look at it like, it's like trying to push a car, bro. Like, I don't know if you've tried pushing a car. It's fucking hard to get moving, but once it's moving, it gets easier.
It's rolling, yeah.
Momentum carries it. So I'm just at the start of that, bro, whereas, like, I'm digging my heels in, I'm trying to get this car to move, and I can slowly see the wheels starting to turn. And like, and I say to my missus sometimes, like, bro, you're just, I don't call her bro, but I'm just like, my bro.
Hey, bro. I mean, babe.
Is that you're just one text or one phone call away from an opportunity.
Yeah, bro.
Like, bro, like that Warriors thing, bro. Like, I was just like one of the boys, like that Jackson guy. He's like, hey, bro, we need another shooter. Are you available to help out in these days? Like that and that. But that you've also got to create your opportunities as well. Yeah. You can't just sit there and just think, fuck, I hope someone messages me.
Everything comes to you, yeah.
Bro, that's like you with your, you know, like with your, you know, you're constantly chucking up dates. We've got this date available for tattooing, this date, because you can't just think, oh, everyone knows I've got to win my, you know, like when my calendar's free. You've got to chuck it out there, you know, and posting content about what you do, you know, the kind of tattoos that you do also creates opportunities for you as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I had a meeting today, like about a brand wanting to create content, and they even said, like, well, I jumped on your Insta. Someone referenced me to you, and so I jumped on your Instagram, and I saw you done some content with the Warriors, and I saw you do some other stuff as well. So I thought there might be a good connection there, you know.
Yeah.
And like when I'm not creating for a brand or working for somebody or a client, I'm out creating for myself, because I want to, like, for example, like I mic up my son. He plays soccer. He's 7.
Yeah.
So I mic him up and I film it on a Saturday morning, bro.
Yeah.
I'm mainly doing it like to be quite cool to look back on in time, but it's helping me with my craft.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the boys here, they're constantly drawing. If they stop drawing and they just expect somebody to come and want a tattoo, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. But, you know, like, it's just... So, yeah, I think you've got to create your opportunities.
Yeah. And you're definitely creating your opportunities, bro. Like, the coolest thing that we've talked about was these are the opportunities that we were, like, just talking about, you know? And now it's happening, bro. It's, especially, like, your team. You know, that's not just an NRL team, like, asking you. It's like, this is your team that you're, like, you want to create content for. So it makes it even, like, more worthwhile, and it makes you even more excited that you want to post up the best thing, because you know, like, bro, this is my team. Like,
yeah, and this is 4 years in the making. Like, to get to this opportunity didn't just happen because I just, you know, like, they just didn't happen. Like, there's that saying, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Like, I'm like, bro, I remember when I was working full time, I'd come home and then I'd create content and then just do editing and creating graphics and all that sort of stuff till sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, you know? Get up the next day at 6, 7 o'clock, get the kids ready, go to work all day, home by 6, family time from 6 till 8, maybe till 9, and then again, just keep creating content, you know? Just, bro, you've just got to grind, you know? Like,
That's it.
But the thing is, it doesn't feel like it's grind because it's something you love.
Yeah.
But that's one other thing I want to teach my kids, man. Like, find something you love and just go ham at it. And like my son said to me the other day as we were driving home from soccer training, from his soccer training, he's like, Dad, you know what I want to do? I want to play soccer for life. I want to play soccer when I grow up. I'm like, fuck, that's me. I didn't say fuck, but I'm like, fuck no, that's all good, mate.
Every story you're saying is, oh, no, I don't say that.
Calling my missus bro and saying fuck to us.
Fucking hell, Hendrix. Go play soccer.
Bro, so yeah, that's what he just genuinely loves it, and that's what he wants. I'm like, bro, that's me. You know, I'm like, where are you going to play? And then he starts rattling off. Can I play in Argentina? Because he sees like his favourite players playing over Portugal or England, you know, like. So in his mind, he wants to, like a lot of other kids around the world, they think like that as well. But I want to try and help everything I can do to help him achieve his, you know, dream. You know, like imagine like when we were sometimes younger, like for example, tattooing.
Yeah.
Like your parents are like, oh, that's not a job. That's what you do after work.
Yeah.
You know, like. So yeah, man, it's I encourage people that have not just the balls, but just the ambition to chase their dreams.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing. It's not ever easy, especially when you've got a family, bro.
Oh, bro, no, I can't really relate to that.
You know, but like we were just talking before about, you know, like you do have family. Like you obviously got Kels and you got Hercules as well. Like, you know, like there's a responsibility and you've got to sort of weigh up. Do I grow my business or do I buy a house? You know, like there's responsibilities there. And, you know, you're at a crossroads now by the sounds of it, right? Like in terms of what you want to achieve. And the challenging thing is with you guys is that, you know, like, and a lot of people do as well, you and your partner often have different visions in what you want to achieve. Yeah. But you want to sort of accommodate for the both of you. You know, like trying to grow it, like you say, like you want to grow a legacy, you know, in terms of what you do, and you're on your way in doing that, which is mean, bro. So
yeah,
no,
like I was saying before, you're just in that like tricky, like stage in your life where you're trying to compromise, you're trying to keep everyone happy, but then at the same time still be able to pursue what you want to do,
your dreams and aspirations,
and like going back on like what you were saying with like Hendrix, like playing soccer and playing like, you know, that's what he wants to do for the rest of his life. I was talking to my little brother this morning and I was telling him that's the difference with someone that like wants to get somewhere is like someone who actually believes that they're there, you know, and they constantly see it. So everything that they do is because they can see how, like they can see that picture that they're already there, you know, like, you know, being an All Black. Do you want to check that?
Oh, the camera's on. Sorry, just had to reset the camera so we're all good to go. Sorry, bro, what were you saying like about?
Like someone who believes that they're where they want to be, believe it to the point where they'll do whatever it takes to get there because they can see it like vividly. And people that just want to be there don't actually do the things that they want to do to get there. So I was telling my younger brother, like, if you want to be an All Black, then you got to believe you're an All Black now, because all those All Blacks, they're there because they believed it before they were even All Black. You know, as much as it's surprising, like as much as it's like a shock, like, you know, when they say like, oh, I got the phone call and, oh man, I was just so like shocked and I was overwhelmed, I was happy. But if you asked them before that phone call, they would have said like, yeah, I can be an All Black.
But they pictured that phone call in their head over and over.
Exactly. But it's not just being an All Black. It's like doing all the little things that make you become an All Black. You know, how many players are in the All Blacks that you look at and go, I don't see the difference between him and that guy that's playing ITM, or him and that guy that's playing club rugby. You know, you think, you look at like the bigger picture, or you look at what we can all see so much that you forget that there's a difference in the way those two live their lives, you know? This guy wakes up, probably does yoga or Pilates or something. The other dude wakes up, goes and gets a sausage roll in the morning. But if you see them on Saturday, you'll think they're the exact same player, you know? But there's one guy that does something differently. And the people that do things differently, or the people that think outside of doing the norm, are the ones that end up like becoming the All Black, the ones that end up being successful. And they have those crazy stories where the year before they were a relieved teacher and then now they're an All Black. But if you ask him like, oh, what were you doing in your off times? This dude was training. This dude was trying to figure out like, how does he better his skills? You know, but people are so focused on just the outside like view that we forget that it's the smallest things in their life that really like make that person the better player at the end of the day. So like what you're saying about like Hendrix, like if you really want to do something, like believe that you're already there. Like act like we were talking about before. If you want a Lamborghini, you drive every day in your fucking Honda Civic like it's a Lamborghini.
You look at the steering wheel and you see the emblem on there. You don't see the Honda's logo. You see the Ferrari or the Lamborghini
but
logo.
You treat that car like it's a Lamborghini. You clean it all the time. If you got a Lamborghini, you'd never want to scratch that shit. You know, like you'll be parking so far away from the curve that it's like, oh, nah, I'm good. It's like in the middle of the road. It's like, bro, I think you're like on the road, bro. It's like, nah, bro, I'm good parked here, bro.
Or in the car park, just park way over there.
Start parking in the disabled car park seat. It's like, oh, it's a Lambo.
Fuck. There's some dickheads that do that. I don't even fucking do that. If I see you kind of car like you got, boom.
Nah, but like going back on what we're saying, you know, you got to believe that shit before it even happens, bro. And for Hendrix, if he wants to be a soccer player, be a soccer. And there's this other saying that like it was like this on this podcast that I was watching, and the guy asked like, if you got what you're doing right now, if you got $1 million tomorrow, would you still be doing the same thing you are now? And that's what you got to try and find what to do. Is something that even $1 million or however much money will change your life, you'll still want to do the same thing. And that's like, for me, I was kind of happy when he said that, because I was like, yeah, bro, I'll still be doing the same thing, bro. I live my dream, bro. I wake up every day and I just can't believe that this is my life, you know? It's like, fuck, man, this is crazy.
So what's some advice for somebody that wants to live their dream, bro? Like, they may be stuck in that 9-to-5 grind, you know, but they have ambitions to do something else. And it's easy to say, bro, just go and do it. You know what I mean? Like, and we've talked about this before. What kind of advice would you give someone, do you think, that would desperately love to be able to do what they want to do?
Yeah, like it is hard to not say just go do it, but I think you gotta start laying those bricks while you're doing whatever you're doing that you don't want to do, and you gotta look at it like it's temporary. It's if you think that what you're in is forever, then you're like, that's where you lost. You know, like you gotta think, okay, this is my grind season, and let me like have this 9-to-5. While I'm doing this, exactly like what you're saying, till 2 a.m., you know, and you got to start figuring out, you got to start scheduling your life like that. Like, okay, 8 hours is at here. 4 hours is where I want to be. Like, do that every day. Then that 4 hours slowly becomes bigger, you know, and the 8 hours slowly becomes smaller because you're starting to figure out how you can leave their job now. Now you're starting to be like, oh, like say you're a full-timer at a 9-to-5, and then you start making like, you know, you start getting better at what you're trying to do, then all of a sudden you can be like, oh yeah, like I'm going to go part-time now, you know, and you shorten your 9-to-5 so you can expand that, like your dream. And then you just keep chipping away at it, and then eventually, exactly like what you did, you can say to your boss, like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to leave now, you know, I've got like I'm going to go do what I really want to do. And then that's going back on like what we were saying about like people don't see like what you do behind closed doors. That's what people don't see, bro. People don't see that you did your dreams with a 9 to 5, you know. And you can ask anyone who are living their dreams, they all probably had a shitty job trying to make it work, you know. Like I remember this guy was saying that he was trying to be like the ultimate bodybuilder, and he was like still working 9 to 5, but he was going up against people that were like full-time jobs, and he was like, fuck, like I can't beat them right now because I have a 9 to 5, but let me do as much as I can to get close to them, because if I get close to them, that means as soon as I get rid of my 9 to 5, I'm beating them, you know. So he figured out like how he can get as close as possible to them, and then boom, left his job, became the freaking best bodybuilder, Mr. Olympia, whatever, you know. Like, and that's kind of how you got to look at it. Is like everything's temporary, and if you really believe that like you can live your dreams and you believe in like what you want to do, you won't care about those days that you're like at 9 to 5, you know, because you'll be so like happy that you're still chipping away at like your dream. Like, and it's not like going to happen in a year or 2 years. Like if you're lucky, it'll happen in a year, like or under a year. But you got to look at it like temporary can be 10 years, and that's the harsh reality. But if you believe that temporary, if you believe that 10 years is temporary, then it doesn't matter. Like all of those will, like your time will dedicate it, like your time will be dedicated even better when you finally get to your dream. So you were working at that job for 16 years, and now you're finally living your dream. But if I ask you now, that 16 years is gone now. You totally forgot about all those 16 years because you're so happy now. You're so like it was worth it, you know. Like as much as I hated those 16 years, like I did that so I could be here, you know. Like exactly like what you're saying. The 10 years to be an overnight celebrity. Like that's, I'm not saying I'm an overnight celebrity, but that was me now. Like it took me 10 years to get here, and now people are looking at it like, fuck, this is mean, bro. But it's like, fuck, I was fucking, bro, I was tattooing, like, not to try and make a story like a sad story, but I was actually tattooing, bro, and there was a fucking hole in my roof. And one of my clients just comes in, like, the other week, and he's like, fuck, bro, I remember when you were at your house, remember, G, you had a hole in your roof? And I was just like, fuck, what the fuck? And he's like, bro, hole in your roof to the fucking, this flash place? Like, shucks, that's mean,
that
G.
would have been, like, imagine if you documented that as well, you know, like.
Oh, bro, I wish I did, bro. I honestly, like, you know what's like stink is like, I always wanted to do, like, I always wanted to like film like that, bro. Because I used to watch this guy on YouTube, and this is going back to all the way like to 2012, bro. I used to watch this guy on YouTube, still watch him to this day, bro. And he used to always record himself like tattooing. But at that time, he was like tattooing in apartments, and he used to go to like different places. And then like when he started opening up his own shop, he started recording that. And I used to look at it like, man, I wish I could like record my own thing. But at that time, I'd like, all I had was like an iPhone. It was like stink ass, like, you know, and I was trying to like make everything look like him. Like, but because I was never like tech savvy, like I think about these times, I'm just like, man, imagine if I recorded that hole in the ceiling, because it was like there was a leak in the roof, and it just freaking like, you know, have you seen those like roofs and they're like the dipping? Yeah. Well, it like broke through, like, and so there was just this hole in my ceiling, and I'm like tattooing clients, bro. And they're probably just like,
fuck, is this bootleg fucking? But now, bro, like you got a mad spot here, bro. Like, and anybody that's on that path, man, like if you're contemplating wanting to do your own thing, it can be done.
Yeah,
like, it can. Like, first of all, ask different questions.
Yeah,
don't ask questions. Don't tell yourself I can't because of this. I can't because, you know, I've got like in brackets responsibility. You know, like I can't because I just because I'm stuck in this job, whatever it is. Ask questions like, how can I get myself into an opportunity that it can take me to where I want to be?
Yeah.
And it's like, and people like, honestly, goal setting is underrated. Like, people talk about goal setting, and people like, especially at the beginning of a month, the beginning of the year, people set all these different goals, but then it comes to like 2 weeks after, and they're already like, fuck, give up on the goal.
Yeah.
But so you try and have micro goals. So you might want to have a monthly goal, like a 6 month, 3 month, 6 month, and a yearly goal, and then have micro goals. And micro goals are like for today. Like, what can you do today that'll help you to get you where you want to be? Let's take an example, like me being a content creator, right? Like, so I'm working every 9 to 5 or 8 to 6, and then I have and I want to, my ultimate goal is to, like what I'm doing now, quit my job and working for myself, creating mad content for brands and businesses. Okay, that's the end goal. What can I do like today? What can a goal be today? Okay, I'm going to work at home. I'm going to do my work, and when I get home tonight, I'm going to, one of two things. You can actually research and learn on YouTube about how to make content, and then, okay, so I've learned that. How do I apply that learning? What can I do to apply that learning? And for me, what I do is I create scenarios in my head, or I go on Instagram and I go into a Reels and I see a Reel I like, I save that, and then like, how can I sort of imitate that in my own way? Like, what can I do? And then, so then your goal for that week or that day is to film piece of content like that there. Then you chuck it up on your social media channels, because again, it's just showing people what you do, but it's also you're taking action, so create yourself micro goals that you want to achieve. And so when you start on day one, you look back in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 10 years of where you started, because you can see, like, I look back on the content I created 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? Like you'd be doing the same with the tattoos. You're like, bro, who did that? But now you're proud of what you achieved. And so if I can say anything, is it's like, have daily micro goals. And it could be something simple as learning about a camera, YouTube, but as long as you're learning and applying that. It's like reading a book. If you read a book, that's great, but how do you apply that knowledge when you read that book, right? Like, Atomic Habits is a great book to read, and I love that book. And so you apply what you learn from there to your daily activities, like, it's like you've got the boys here doing every day, they've got to draw something.
Yeah.
And I say to them, they should have a goal. Like, what's your goal for today to draw? Don't just draw for the sake of drawing.
Yeah.
Like, learn a different way to shade. How do you use a line? Which way do you use a pencil? If you push it harder, what will you learn? If you push it lighter, what... and all these learnings. And then once you take that and then you apply it to a project, to create yourself a project. So that could be, again, a content creator. And this is a prime example, right? If you're a photographer, here's a practical way, a photographer. If you're a photographer and you want to go and learn about creating content, go to your local cafe and say, hey, look, do you mind if I take some photos of your hands making coffee, of the cabinet of the food, the environment that you've got here. And if I can share those photos with you, feel free to use them on your Instagram and your social media. You do that. But most importantly, buy something from that coffee shop. Yeah. Buy a coffee, buy a muffin. So you're supporting them. So you're not just taking from them, you're also giving to them in terms of a monetary, because they're running a business, but also you're giving to them and saying, I'll create these photos for you, I'll send them to you, and you can use them how you ever want. If you want more content, feel free to hit me up and we can start talking about a rate. Then what you actually do is you go to all the different cafes in your area, and then you create a series of cafes in your area. Then you do cafes around your city, and then you start rating these and you put them on a website that you've created. Like, this is what I loved about this, like, One Sip Cafe. They had great food, great people. This is the photos I took, and created like a little blog. And so that's a project that you've created. Then all of a sudden you're learning how to take photos. You're learning and dealing with people. You're learning how to negotiate a price with people. You're learning to build a portfolio of your product and of your brand and of the content that you create. And then you start chucking it out there. You start using the right hashtags. You put it on TikTok because you make a little video about it. You put it on Instagram because you make videos. Then also make photos. And then you also create a vlog. You can create a vlog if you want for YouTube, but then also you can create a blog, which is writing. So you can send a newsletter out, create a newsletter. Then all of a sudden, bro, you've got this following. You're starting to build a business. You're starting to create content, all just by going into one cafe that's by you and saying, hey, do you mind if I just take some photos for you? And a lot of times they do. They want you to take photos because they run the business. They don't have time to take photos. They want photos, but they don't know how to take the photos because they run a business. They're coffee maker. They're a baker. They're a chef, whatever. They're trying to deal with people. They're trying to pay bills. If somebody just comes in and says, I'm going to give you these photos for free, and if you want more, we can talk more about a rate, and you might want to say, I'll give you X amount of, it's going to charge you X amount of dollars, and I'll give you X amount of photos every month, or a reel or video. But you're also using that your own content for your own channel.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, bro, you've just got this project, like you're on your way. Imagine if you did that for coffee, but then you did that with, I don't know, something else, like you go to another retail store or go to another shop or go to a tattoo artist, because they want content as well because they're all about visual. So there's so many different ways in terms of how could you get started and get underway by building your profile, but it's all about taking action every single day. And action could be eating right, action could be exercising, action could be meditating, getting your head right, like making a decision, because every decision has a consequence. It has a reaction, so it's an easy to say, oh, you're lucky, bro, to be in this amazing, amazing studio. Fuck, that shit didn't just happen just because you happened to get the key to it. You found, where did I find this key on the ground? Oh, what is this? Oh, this opens this. Bro, you worked hard for it because you took action every day, like you either tattooed yourself, or you tattooed friends for free, you did it for a lot for free. And that's how shit starts at the beginning. Because it's like you do stuff for free because it's going to pay back. Because it's not a loss, it's a learning. Yeah. Just because you're giving it for free, you're not losing, you're learning. Yeah. You're learning negotiation skills, you're learning communication skills, you're learning how to communicate to somebody about how you promote your brand. You're learning about yourself, you're learning about your craft. Every day, just do something small, and every day. It's like Will Smith talks about building a brick wall. Yeah. His dad saying, I don't want you to build the best brick wall. I want you to lay the best brick that you possibly can, which will then turn into the best brick wall. Yeah. He's like, every day, make sure that there's lined up perfectly and it's done, with precision. Because every day when you start building that brick, eventually, after a while, you look up and you've got this massive brick wall that's built to how it should be, And so that's what you should be doing with your own life, like in terms of trying to be better than yesterday. I'm a massive advocate for how am I better than yesterday? Routine helps, bro. Like for me, routine helps because when you've got a routine, you've got a purpose in life. And when you've got a purpose in life, you've got momentum going forward. If you don't have a purpose or a momentum, bro, what are you doing? It's like we talked about before, bro. It's like water. Water stuck in a barrel becomes old and stale and musky and it's filled with, it becomes yuck. Yeah. You want water to be flowing. You want water to be moving. You want water to be, like a river. It's fresh, it's clean, it keeps going. Like with money as well, We talked about that with money as well. I mean, I'm no fucking financial advice, but there's different ways about how to make money work for you. We talk about that. But first of all, do the little things that will lead into big things. Yeah, it'll create opportunities, man. Like this opportunity to create content for you and create content for the Warriors and create content for other amazing clients didn't just happen. Yeah, it's just because I've done the little things. And I've got another thing I say. I've got a saying: don't miss twice. If you fall off the bandwagon today, make sure you don't do it tomorrow. Yeah. Otherwise it becomes a habit. It's like for me, I have to work out because it makes me feel better. If I miss one day, make sure I do it the next day. Yeah. Because then if I miss the next day, then I'll be like, and then all of a sudden you're missing the next day, the next day, the next day, and all of a sudden you haven't worked out in ages, or eating healthy or, So always I try and say to myself, don't miss twice. Yeah. And whether it's like, or like if, for example, again, it could be like eating right. Like you could eat junk food, but don't eat junk food twice. You know what I mean? So you got to write the thing. So fuck, all of a sudden next thing we got a week.
Times of how many junk food I've eaten in a row.
Bro, it's hard when you got K-fire across the fucking road.
God damn.
Right. So, but you know what I mean? Right? Yeah. But in terms of, if you don't miss twice, bro, like that, otherwise it becomes a habit. And so you want to create good habits rather than, bad habits, I guess you could say. So, that'd be my advice for anybody that wants to have a crack at doing their own thing is the little things, G.
And on the back of what you're saying, bro, I think another thing that's massive that people shy away from too much is making mistakes. What you were saying, it's not losses, it's learnings. it's one thing I always like tell my boys is like learn, like try and make mistakes purposely to figure out what you're trying to do, because you can't. I honestly don't believe that you can learn if you haven't made that mistake. If you've never made that mistake, no matter how many times people tell you not to do it, you'll never understand it, bro. You'll never understand why you can't do that until you go do it. And then you find out why it was wrong, or you find out why you shouldn't do it. Then you'll appreciate that like value or that person even more that told you not to do that, you know? And it's like, for me, it's a big thing making mistakes. Like, I love mistakes, bro. Like, I try and like make mistakes purposely so I can see like why that's a mistake, you know? And sometimes the best ideas come from mistakes, bro. You figured out how to do it a different way because you made a mistake, you know? And that's what I think people are so scared of, and that fear in them is not them being successful, it's them like making a mistake to get to that success. That's what they're scared of.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, bro, everybody wants everything handed on a plate. Like, you can be like, oh, fuck, how do I do this? How do I do that? Fuck, have a crack.
Yeah.
You know, like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, good, bro, your phone is the most powerful thing you can ever have. Like, you can figure anything out on your phone. How do you blah, blah, blah.
And people are asking you about something that you know nothing about. It's like, bro, how do you think I should cook this meal? Fuck, I've never cooked in my life, G, but, you know, it's like you're asking the wrong people, bro. Like,
but everyone wants the easy way to do it, you know what I mean? Like, they want to be told, like the question I get a lot is, bro, what's the best camera I should get? It's like, fucking, how long's a piece of string? Like,
yeah.
Like, how much money do you have? What can you afford? Like, often the best thing camera is your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so, like, the answer can be found on Google. Like, what camera should I use to film this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I say, people want the easy way to figure it, they just want to be handed in. But at the same time, they want it to be done quick. And I get that. I'm the same as well. Like, if someone said to me, bro, don't do it like this, do it like this, I'm like, fuck that, you know? Like, that's why you're having your apprentices here, is you giving them advice. And so I get the whole thing as well. But half the fun is learning about it, you know? Like you say, by trialing and failing. Fuck, I tried that way, that didn't work, so let's try this way, see what happens then. Oh, that's gave me a different result. You're right, bro. It's like, learn by doing, by failing.
Yeah.
Because some of your best fails become your best rewards, you know? Like, I'm sure you would have learned a lot. And then that's business as well. Like, I'm learning business. Like, this whole new business, this business thing's fucking new to me as well, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking no one taught me about the tax thing, bro. So, because in 16 years I've been getting a salary, like, just turns up on my bank. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. I don't know about the whole IRD thing.
I don't know. I lost $600 before that.
Fucking tax, G. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah, man, it's all about learning, trialing, and just having a crack, because I don't know, bro, like, you don't want to get to the end of life. I don't get too deep here, but you want to get to the end of life and go, fuck, I wish I had a crack, or I didn't enjoy my life.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a crack, man. Like, because even if you are working 9 to 5, still have a crack. Like, try, you know, like,
Do something, yeah.
do something, bro. Like,
But there's a saying that I was like, I was listening to another podcast, and it was like this guy talking about there's entrepreneurs and then there's wantrepreneurs. And that's the world that we live in, bro. Not everyone's an entrepreneur, bro. And that's the harsh reality again, is that as much as you want to say to have a crack, bro, sometimes that guy's not built for it, you know, like, he's just not going to be the one to change anything in this world, you know. And it sucks because I'm in the position that I am as like the leader of you know, of the space. It's hard for me to like think that everyone's an entrepreneur, but then to like not think that. Like, sometimes I'm doing things right, and then I'm trying to help someone, or I'm trying to like some of my boys, right? some of my boys want to do things, and they're talking to me about doing things, and I'm like, oh yeah, nah, sweet. So we keep going over the same thing, and then as the weeks, as the months, as the years go by now, I start realizing that they're not the guy. You're the entrepreneur. Like, you're not the entrepreneur, you know. And I try to help them as much as I could, believing that they were the entrepreneur. But then I realized, fuck, you're not like.
They love the dream and the
guy,
idea of wanting to run their own business.
Exactly, and
fuck, I think the camera's is that one there?
Gonna die.
Is that one? Sorry, bro, I just gotta quickly check the camera.
Fuck, was that another half hour? Oh shit.
Sorry, fam. Cameras keep cutting in and out. So, but anyway, sorry, you're saying like they love the idea of having their own business and want to be an entrepreneur, but when it comes to reality, they're like, ooh,
and
it's a bit harder than I thought it was going to be.
But sometimes, on the other side of that, it's like I need people to be role players, because imagine me trying to run a business and I have everyone that's an entrepreneur. It's not going to work, you know. I need role players in the team to help the entrepreneur. So that's kind of how I like look at it, and I see both sides of it. Is that like, as much as I do want to help this guy become his own boss, sometimes I have to look at him and understand, you're not a boss, bro. You're a role player. So I'm going to make you the best role player, you know. And
can't have too many chiefs, not Indians, right?
That's it, bro.
Not everyone can be a chief.
And it's shown so many times that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
How many times do you see a team get stacked and then they get beaten, and you're like, what? How did 5 friggin' all-stars get beaten? You know, it's because it's just, you got to have people that are like role players, bro. And role players, being a worker is not a bad thing, bro. Being a worker is a good thing, because that might be your purpose in life, bro. Your purpose in life is you elevate other people.
Not everyone can be a quarterback, right?
And that's why you're the best. Like, that's why the team wins, because you're the best at elevating your other like teammates, or you're the best at making your captain like better, you know. And that's like going back on like there some can, some can't. And that's how, as simple as it gets, bro. Like, so I want to try and tell everyone, like, yeah, bro, like, fucking have a crack, bro, give it a go, bro. But if you're telling someone fucking over and over again, and they keep coming back to you saying the same shit, imagine how many, imagine someone like coming to you, bro, and every time you see them, bro, they go, bro, what camera do you use? And you're like, fuck, I've told you the same thing, bro. And then you just start getting annoyed, but if you actually think about it, you're like, oh yeah, nah, you're a role player, bro. Like, you know, and it's not to like put them down. It's just that you're not the captain, bro. You're not the leader. So like, figure out how you keep like being that role player in the most respectful way. Like,
But that's it, bro. So yeah, hopefully, like if anyone does have a dream out there they want to pursue, like first of all, have a crack to see if that's what you. I mean, because people see others doing what they do, and they're like, "Fuck, I want to do. I reckon I could do that."
Yeah.
But when it comes to the crunch, it's like, ooh. But like, at least you tried to have a crack, and then like at least you know, or get in an environment where you can help be an influence within that brand, right? Like for example, here, like if you want to, like you said, you need other people to help build your brand. Like you may like. If you can find somebody else that can be your number 2 or number 3, whatever, to help build your brand, and somebody else feels they've, you know, achieved in a roundabout way, help build your brand, you know, like that could be self-rewarding as well, you know. Yeah. So all I say is just like have micro goals within your monthly or quarterly or yearly goals, and just have a try to see what you like, and just try different things, like, yeah, and just see where it takes you. And you action is what it takes, bro. Like, just can't keep saying, don't be the I'm gonna guy. Yeah. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna go for a run.
Yeah. Oh, this box of KFC looks meat.
You don't want to get to friggin' 30 and then you're saying, damn, I'll switch.
Fuck, speaking of 30, just turned 30.
Well, that's
milestones, bro.
That's me now, bro. Like,
that's me.
To be honest, I don't feel any different. I never thought anything would change. Like, and the coolest thing, bro, is that like at 30, I achieved everything that I wanted to,
That's
bro.
mean, bro.
Like, and everything that I said I wanted in my life, bro, I got it, bro.
That's cool time,
And that's
bro. I'm
the-
proud of you, bro.
That's the craziest thing. Like getting to 30 now, and now thinking like, what's next? Because people like still trying to figure it out, at 30. But for me, it's like, I mean, I'll never say like I have everything. Like there's always like something I'll always be like chasing. And I think now for me now it's just like I'm just at the age where it's like I'm still trying to find like bigger goals or chase bigger dreams. And bro, to be honest, I think 30 is probably the start of your life. Like that's where you kind of figure it out, bro. Because in your 20s, there's a lot of inner searching. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to there's just so many questions like in your 20s that you like can't answer like yet. Like you kind of have to go through the years, and then you get to that age where then you get to 30, and then you have all those like questions. Well, not all of them answered, but you have a better perspective on life. And then like 30 is where you can finally start from there, and then like you can start doing things you like want to do or want to chase, because you'll figured out like what I'm trying to say is like in your 20s, there's so many insecurities that you have that is so hard to ignore, because you just think like, man, what's wrong with me, And then you get to 30 and you're like, fuck, that was dumb. That I used to like, that I thought that was like a bad thing, or I thought that was an insecurity of mine, And then, yeah, so for me, I feel like I just started, bro. Like, and like me now, like saying that makes me more excited to get to 40, because I want to be 40 because I just started now, like, So it's like, what's going to happen at 40 now, So yeah, there was just, I think in your 20s, there's a lot, that's the word, there's a lot of growing to do. And you gotta get through those 20s, get all of that kind of like life out of you, like not out of you, like out of the way, like your partying like years, your like early stages of things. And that's what I feel like your 20s is for. And then 30s is where you start figuring out, okay, like, what am I trying to achieve in life now? What's my purpose here? Like, what do I need to do now? You start looking at like, what does it take to start a family? Like, what do I need to do? Like, so all those things are what's going on in my mind now. Like, just started.
That's mean, bro. And it's so true, bro. Like, for someone that's gone through his 30s, it's exactly right. 30s, honestly, I reckon are your best times.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to love your 30s, bro. Because you've got, like you're starting to figure things out, but then you've got experience as well, in terms of what you want. Like you have bigger goals.
Yeah.
Like when you're 20s, bro, your biggest goal is fucking just to get to the weekend to get on the piss. Like most people, like a lot of people do. Yeah. But like now you're like, actually now I want to like thinking about maybe buying a house or growing my business or having a family. Like those are some big goals, Yeah. And they're cool goals to have. And just every day gets better, bro. Like you learn something about yourself. You learn something about people around you. You create growth. You discover and find new people that you fuck with, like, and you connect them on a different level. It's just, I don't know. You just feel more. You have a lot more passion and a lot more desire and a lot more direction.
Yeah.
Not everybody
understanding.
has that. You're understanding about what you start figuring out what you really like and what you really want. And just remember, like 30 is still fucking young, bro. In the scheme of like you're gonna at least live to 80, at least.
Yeah.
Like so, 30 to 80, bro. You got another 50 years. You know what I mean? So you're not even nowhere near halfway.
Yeah.
So like, it's just it's fun, bro. Actually 30s is actually fun, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's just, and then bro, it's just it's good times, bro. So yeah, happy birthday for the other day, bro.
No, I appreciate that, bro.
And I think we might wrap that up, bro. As we have some good chats again tonight. Again, thank you everybody for fucking with us. We really do appreciate it. We get some cool messages. So honestly, it means so much when we hear these, we receive your messages about what you enjoy, what you don't like. It gives us feedback. We even get those ones.
No.
We got those. We get these feedback.
I was trying not to do that the whole podcast, bro.
We got a bit of feedback saying we go too much, which when we look back we actually do is like actually that is fucking annoying.
You notice it when you listen when someone pulls it up.
Annoying. So we apologize. That's our bad. We're figuring it out. But I appreciate always giving the feedback. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Join us on our journey of the Kirby and Stace podcast. We'll definitely see you in the next one. See you then. Peace.